Official F grade for the disgrace known as Joe Biden. This is Dr. David D. Shine for a special edition of Saving America. Members of my regular audience know that I am the author of the book, Decline of America, 100 Years of Leadership Failures. In that book, I provide letter grades for the American presidents for what I call the American Empire. That started with Woodrow Wilson at the end of World War I around 1918. The book ended with Obama's presidency in 2016. That book was published in early 2018. Most agreed with the rankings of the presidents in terms of rank order, but still felt the grades that I assigned were a little too tough. I do not agree, of course. We only need to look at the massive national debt, the additional unfunded burden that is more than double the declared national debt, and the shortfalls in Social Security and Medicare to know that leaders from both parties have failed America. Hopefully in 2026, I'll release an updated book with chapters for Trump and Biden. But let's focus on a clown who is in office for 50 years, but has nothing good to show for it. In fact, the higher up the ladder he went, the more destruction he caused. On his first day occupying the White House, he reversed most of the initiatives created by Trump. This directly led to the explosion of illegals, estimated to be 8 to 10 million illegals in this country during his only 4 years in office. That includes convicts who are guilty of murder and a massive illegal drug problem. The country has also been damaged by a scourge of child abuse and trafficking of adults and children. He also killed the Keystone Pipeline, a true lifeline that will help America to be the leaders in energy for its own security as well as its allies. The latest is that the Democrats are trying to sell the materials for the border wall in an effort to frustrate Trump's plans to finish the wall. They apparently forgot the part about that they work for the taxpayers. That's taxpayer money, folks. In addition, we have instability around the globe with a special focus on Ukraine, the Middle East, and of course, dealing with the deranged Z in Red China. And who could forget the surrender of the Bagram airfield and the 13 dead Americans in one bomb blast during the botched Afghanistan withdrawal? We then come to the pardons. Nobody in America can be surprised that he pardoned his son Hunter. However, some misunderstood that this was to pardon himself, not Hunter. That removed Hunter turning state's evidence and ratting out Biden and his brother James. I still call for the Comer Commission to finish the investigation of this crew and, if appropriate, file charges. Inexplicably, another 1,538 grants of pardons and commutations were announced. This is interesting since they do not appear to have been carefully researched. One that attracted the most attention is former Pennsylvania Judge Michael Conahan. He was convicted in 2011 of funneling juveniles to for-profit detention centers in exchange for more than $2 million in kickbacks. He was sentenced to more than 17 years in prison after pleading guilty to racketeering and conspiracy charges. A number of those youngsters who were sent to these unearned facilities have had great difficulty following their incarceration. And in one particular case, a youngster did commit suicide. The families of the victims of this judge are going crazy over just that one pardon. How does freeing convicted criminals, including drug dealers and other bad actors, help the Democrat Party or Biden's already pathetic legacy? Inquiring minds want to know. Given how off the rails this appears to be, I have to question is if this is a play-for-pay scheme. Perhaps rewards to Biden with cash for an undeserved presidential library, or maybe just straight payola. I did want to raise an important legal question. Could we use the 25th Amendment to disqualify Biden mentally after the fact, in turn, revoke anything he did in his last month or 6 months, etc.? Let's see. I'm sure that my listeners are aware of his attempt to buy votes by writing off student debt. Not only did that backfire in his face, but the federal courts consistently ruled that he could not do so, and he kept on doing it. Then the unauthorized and, in my opinion, illegal application of rules to allow illegals to appear to be here legally has been a continuing problem. KTRH Houston claims that over 1 million illegals have been granted TPS, temporary protection status. This prevents deportation of foreign nationals who come from countries that are designated as ones experiencing famine, war, or natural disasters. Of course, this does not apply to most of the millions here illegally. There are 17 countries with TPS designations from Afghanistan to Venezuela. I might be okay with some of this if there was a legitimate screening process and proper limits placed on it, like having a sponsor with, say, 90 to 120 days. Then we had lawfare against Trump combined with ridiculous and unconstitutional treatment of the protesters on January 6, 2020. We've experienced the politicization of the FBI, DOJ, and other government agencies. This must be undone and then never be allowed to happen again. There's much more to say, but hey, time is limited. Dr. Dave awards the Saving America F grade to the disgrace known as Joe Biden. This is Dr. David D. Shine for Saving America. Please subscribe on your favorite platform.